guys, welcome back. So, I have... Whoa. Stuff I need to get rid of, apparently. So crafting is done. Okay. Everybody is in an upgrade. Even Cole is now in an upgrade. Okay. Now, we have stuff to do for our Dorian. So we'll take him with, because he wants to be there for it. And I don't know why I just did that. Why did I decide to take her? Oh, we'll fix it. Alright. Dorian. Blackwell.
Hey, Blackwall, what would your ideal blade be forged from?
Well, many famous Warden blades were made from silverite. It seems to work well on Darkspawn. And you? Clearly a man who enjoys a good blade. Bloodstone, perhaps?
Nah, Bloodstone's great at holding an edge, but that sharpness leaves it brittle. You may not have noticed, but I'm not a finesse fighter. I guess I'd go with Dawnstone.
Dawnstone? That's even more brittle than Bloodstone.
Yes. Really damn pretty, though.
It's pink.
It's pretty.
Oh, shit. It's pretty. It's pink. It is pretty. This is why I love you. All right. Next. Of course you'd come to camp. We don't need you. Don't need to kill you. But if you come towards me, things are gonna happen. All right. See if I remember how to get up here. No, too slow. Very good. hear you. You're welcome. Fine day for killing Vandatory. I believe that's it, yeah? Perfect. I want my people back. Oh, you know what?
Do you have any advice for fighting demons, Solus?
I should probably. Oops. There it is. Okay.
Survive the first 30 heartbeats, and you have already won.
So I should try not to die. Helpful.
I mean that demons are rarely intelligent enough to change their tactics. If you focus on defending yourself, you will see the full range of their abilities within the first 30 heartbeats. By then, you should be able to find a weakness and exploit it.
Ah, that is helpful. I will try to remember that.
Also, try not to die.
Oh, I already took you, didn't I? But we'll just make sure we get you in here. Perfect. Why are you... Okay. I was gonna say. Everybody got their shit? Yep. Yep. Good.
Your
Uh-oh.
apostate friend did not benefit from formal training in a circle.
How unfortunate for me.
The circle makes you afraid. Are the demons stronger there?
The circle taught me the tricks demons play to gain the trust of any mage foolish enough to listen. Solus seems to trust you. How long before you turn on him?
Solus is my friend.
But you'd like to be more, wouldn't you? You could be together forever if you possessed him. Is that not truly what you want? A body to claim your own, so you never have to return to the Fade?
I can't return to the Fade. Sometimes I wish I could.
Ignore her call. She would hurt what she does not understand.
Oh, what a beautiful line, Solus. Beautiful line. I love that. That is so true for her.
Blackwall. Iron Bull. We could fight crime.
Isn't that exactly what we're doing right this minute? More or less?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, let's get this shenanigan over with.
Fancy trying out one of my courses?
I suppose.
What kind of racing are you talking about?
I set up a course over there with stakes in the ground. It's too narrow to race directly, so I time it with a sandglass. You try to ride the course before I call time.
I'll try one of your courses.
Wonderful. Get your horse and I'll set up the stakes. You make time, I'll throw in some of the dress money Father gave me. Consider it a donation to the Inquisition.
Yeah, okay. Oops. Oh, I'm starting off great. I really hate this one. It's pointless. It's useless. And frankly, just annoying. Can we go faster? We can't. I'll run you over, dude.
Nicely done. Fancy another race?
He's bold, Bruce.
Set up the next course.
Great. Go get mounted. I'll put up the stakes straight away.
Yay. This one, right? Okay. Try not to look at the map too much because it lies to you. Excuse me.
Whoa!
Okay, there you are.
Nicely done. Fancy another race?
Set up the next course.
Great. Go get mounted. I'll put up the stakes straight away.
Whoa! Goodness. Hit the wrong button. Yeah. There we go. That's better. Found the magic button. Whoopsie.
I'll be damned. You've mastered
Again?
every course I set up.
Okay.
Don't the horns make it hard to lie down? How do you sleep?
Inquisitor.
Really? I wish my frosty mods were working. That would never had happened and we could have heard. Yes. Okay, so I think everybody but Cole, right? Nope, Cole's taken care of. Sweet. So we need Ferelden locks and deep stalker hides. Shh. I don't want any more out of you.
Those must be the bandits Harding mentioned.
Been a long time since I was at sea.
Gathering. Need to gather to keep up with everything. Would you stop glitching and get out of the way, Solus? Really? Where'd you go? There we go. Damn spiders. Spiders don't bother me too much. But... Alright, give me a moment. My phone's going off. Okay. Solus and I are gonna have everything cleared up before even our two guardians here will get there. Alright. We're gonna walk the seacoast quick. And then so pretty. What disciplines achieves. We came first from the sea. The dreadnoughts took Parvalon at a stoke. We marched on the land called Hinterlands, then Love-Rennie, and then the Dorian Imperium. Our Venatari told us that the winter capital of Manrethus was unassailable, though it did not fail or fall. Its walls were cracked with steel and Banku fire. The winter saw what discipline achieves. The Basque called us conquerors when we brought them purpose. When we Tasmarans teach a child to read or a wilderness is made fruitful. Is that conquest? Without certainty of the Kyun, there can be no reason. The Bass raised 3 retaliations against our forces, pushing back in Antiva and Ravine. The Kadapali Kabethyar, still adapting to the Kyun's rule, suffered worse. The very people the Bass sought to liberate, the lands burned, while the Bass called us savages. Such madness and hypocrisy needed another answer. We signed the treaties of the Bass to silence them and left. We will return. Patience is the manifestation of self-control. While the Bass bicker among themselves, we prepare. What is time compared to the demands of the Kyun? Tamarasi teaching notes, recovered and translated. Getting there. Oh, iron ball. The Kyun. Long ago, the Arashak lived in a great city by the sea. Wealth and prosperity shone upon the city like sunlight, and still its people grumbled in discontent. The Arashak walked the streets of his home and saw that all around him were the signs of genius. Triumphs of agriculture, artistic masterpieces, the places of wealth, merchants, libraries, and concert halls. But he also saw signs of misery, the poor, sick, lost, frightened, and the hopeless. And the Arashak asked himself, How can one people be both wise and ignorant, great and ruined, triumph and despairing? So the Arishok left the lands of his birth, seeking out other cities and nations, looking for a people who had found wisdom enough to end hopelessness and despair. He wandered for many years through the empire filled with palaces and gardens, but in every nation of the wise, the great, and the mighty he found forgotten, the abandoned, and the poor. Finally he came to a vast desert, a wasteland of bare rock clawing at the empty sky, where he took shelter in a shadow of a towering rock, and resolved to meditate until he found his answer or perish. Many days passed until one night, as he gazed out from the shadow of the rocks, he saw the lifeless desert awaken. On 100,000 locusts hatched from the barren ground, and as one they turned south, a single wave of moving earth. The Arishok rose and followed in their wake, a path of devastation miles wide. The one verdant land turned to wasteland, and the Arishok's eyes were open. Existence is a choice. There is no caste in the world, only complexity. Knowledge of the complexity is wisdom. From wisdom of the world comes wisdom of the self. Mastery of itself is a mastery of the world. Loss of itself is the source of suffering. Suffering is a choice, and we can refuse it. It is in our own power to create a world or destroy it. And the Arishok went forth to his people. An expert from the Kyun, Canto 1. I don't know what you were barking at, Missy. She barks like that, and then she lays down, like she is now, all content, because she got to bark a couple times. I don't want to go up there. Don't care. Okay. Can I even get up there and get it? Oh, okay. see if I remember how to do this. Damn. That was wrong too. It's sad that I always forget how to do these. Oh, guys, why can't I remember how to do this? So close. Aha! Thank goodness. I thought maybe I would have to end the recording here while I sat here for who knows long. Goodness. Constellation Fernandel, commonly referred to as the oak. The constellation Fernandel is generally represented by a towering tree with leafless branches. Many scholars believe this is a representation of nature that harkens back to the lore of the earlier Neanderthals, who beliefs largely aligned with Amnis. Prior to the rise of the old gods, worshipped and creation of the Winter Imperium. Others, however, believe Fenris was originally a constellation of the Elven people, specifically a description of Andral, goddess of the hunt, Verital, or Way of the Three Trees, is a central tenet of Andral, and some think that Fenris originally represented this concept. A study from the Thesis of Astronomy by Sister Dorian Patricis. Something like that. Anyway. So that I don't have to keep looking at the Venatorium line.
If your Kuhn is so wonderful, so fair and perfect, how does it create so many Talvashoth?
Most Talvashoth are nothing more than savages. Killing's all they know. The Ben Hasrath are trying to lose fewer people to that sickness.
It isn't a sickness. You are losing them because they see a chance for freedom. And most of them are savage, as you say, because your culture taught them nothing else. They know nothing but the Kuhn, so even as they fight against it, they are guided by its principles.
Watch it, Elf. You haven't seen the Talvashoth like I have. Try watching a Talvashoth kill a Tamasran and her kids. Then we'll talk.
Solace. Why? Moran's Outlook. The large statue situated a Moran's Outlook once served as the marker for ships coming to the trade with the dwarves. Beyond an assumed connection with the great port of Dorian's Mouth, nothing is known of the statue's namesake. From the Storm Coast and the History by Brother Vincent, Chantry Scholar. Hardin Hightown, Chapter 2 by Varric Tetris. Magistrate Donwald Butler had the air of a man who had never risen before dawn in his life. He stared down his nose at Don and Bronklevic and his partner Jelvin, as he were on some lofty balcony above them instead of standing in the parlor room in a dressing gown. The magistrate is indisposed. This can wait until a reasonable hour, he gestured for the guards to see themselves out. The magistrate is dead, Donnan corrected him. Wake the household. As the butler left, Jelvin shipped uneasy in his new armor. Shouldn't the captain be here? You want to go back to the barracks? Be my guest, Donnan said with a shrug, only half listening as he studied the collection displayed in the room. A dozen ancient swords laid nestling in display cases, protected from dust and prying fingers. He moved to lift the lid of the nearest one. Jelvin started to protest, but then the door opened. She had the eyes the color of topaz and dark hair that fell across her brow like sword strokes. She strolled into the parlor with such a dignified elegance that Donnan didn't realize for several minutes that she was clad in a housecoat and not a ball gown. You have news about my husband. What Sam has done this time? forget to pay his bills at the Rose? She seated herself and indicated the guards to do the same. Donna nodded at the recruit to speak up. Jevon started, "No, Lady Dunwood." Actually, she interrupted him with a wave. "Morella, please. Lady Morella, your husband has been murdered." Donna took over for the flustered recruit. "When did you see him last?" Morella stared at him, her jewel-colored eyes widened, and her voice cracked on, "Murdered, Samus?" But a heartbeat, maybe two, passed, and she again became the perfect picture of noble grace. "I saw him at dinner," she answered in a tone anyone might use to comment on the weather. "He left before dusk. He said he was going to play Wicked Grace with the Comtesse de Fer." "Do you know anyone who might have wanted him dead?" Jevon asked softly. "People want magistrates dead on principle." She gave a wary smile, but her voice grew pained. "Criminals, political rivals, even people in his district who disagreed with him." She drifted off, lost in thought, and then turned to Don, eyes blazing. "A week ago, a letter came. Vague threats. I thought it was nothing, but it upset Seamus. Who sent it? It wasn't signed, but the seal was 6 crossed swords." Alright. Mind waiting until I get out of the way?
One down!
It's down. Might have to set this level up again now that we're fully armed to the teeth. A challenge. "You Rudy bastard. You've been lying at the bottom of the ocean. If it weren't for me, that marlin would have spiked and dropped you. I saved your life, and this is how you repay me. The catch was ours. We both worked for it. You're not getting away with this. I'm getting the gold you owe me, even if I have to beat it out of you. Just so you don't run off like a little shit I know you are. I did your sister." "That's right. So if you got the stones, meet me by the old camp. We'll settle this. Terrence." Lovely. And just so that you don't run, I did your sister. Make you mad enough to come back? up, up. Down you go. Where'd the other one go? There you are. Lovely. Come on, turn. Really? Turn. There we go. Yeah, wow. That was bright. You two just keep playing over there. Oh, no. Going to see if I've got anything here. And that'll be the end of that. Ooh. Oh. Don't believe I can get up that way. So, without, you know, running across people I don't want to right now, because we want to get something crafted before we meet them. Alright. take that. Nah. Let's go. Up. Slightly approve. Why would you only slightly approve? That was badass. Beware of fallen rocks. Oh, we just can't tell. Just waiting. Oh, that was just from Solas's ice mine. Okay. Excuse me, guys.
These must be the missing soldiers.
We should see that their families are notified.
Bandits' notes. These notes were found near murdered Inquisition soldiers. The paper is crumbled or torn as though it were left behind instead of dropped. It is not our place to disagree. They're attempting to set themselves up along the shore, and we have orders. We are the sword, not the hand that wields it. You taught me that. If they are worthy, let them come with the Mercy's crest. The blades of Harissa will listen. You only have to get yourself cast out, or worse.
Our men were murdered by a group called the Blades of Hissarion.
If you're interested, it looks like we can challenge their leader.
They have traditions. These men were just following a code. If the Inquisition can win their loyalty, we could steer them on a better path.
It looks like the bandits are camped further along the beach.
And that's what we wanted. Wanted to know where they were. And how to get our hands on them. Oh, it's here somewhere. Yeah, okay. So I'm going the right way. Don't you fall. Don't you fall. Oh, that one was so easy. Referred to as the chain man. In common parlance, the constellation Sabinus is traditionally represented by a man dragging a heavy chain behind him. This is thought to be an ancient Devinter representation both of Ardrol, the god of slaves, and of the Devinter system of slavery itself. The representation of Sira has been used by the Trust Guide for well over 2,000 years, according to the claim, and is visible imprinted upon the armor of bold juggernauts, the giant golems guarding the gates of the city of Manrathus. From a study of Thetis astronomy by Sister Orain Petranus. Okay. Cleaning house. One more time, guys.
I will remember this when it is over.
This war? The Inquisition?
The people. How you fought against the tide. It is courageous.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to put it on for now. We're gonna stop ever so often though, just to make sure we're not missing anything. I don't think we are. And this thing is always so freaking huge. Well, most of all the land is huge, but I don't need to do that quite yet. That's so gorgeous. Oh, I don't know if I've ever found this before. Well, I'll be darned. Yeah, I don't remember this at all. Nice. Holy buckets. Nice. Yep. I really don't remember this at all. I'm pretty sure yours is better, but crafted for Brazilian's Northern Champion, this shield embodies the namesake and his proven approach to victory. Whether Stonely Plains or Cage Court, don't wait. Rely on the spurs. The big fundamental should push power forward. Fight the fight in front of you until your better is best. A shield that sets an example grounded not in extremes of alignment, but in the perseverance that everyone who steps into the battle must have. Sweet. I'm highly impressed. I'm suppressed that I'm still learning this game. Really? I think I've seen that and said that was pretty impressive, but I don't think I ever ventured forward. I don't even know you were back there. Excuse me. Oh, my cough is coming back. Anyway, how exciting. Alright, so this was the down part. Here we go. There it is. Gotcha. do this.
Someone's come with a challenge.
The others failed.
We are not all others. Alright, guys.
So you would challenge the blades of Hasarian?
You killed soldiers of the Inquisition. We cannot let this stand.
You want justice? Claim it.
Easy.
It's done. As long as everyone here respects the outcome.
Okay, I want that back, thank you.
At your service, Your Worship.
Let's talk to you.
Your Worship, the blades of Hasarian are at your service. If you want eyes on the coast, here we are.
I've not heard of the blades of Hasarian.
Our work is often misunderstood, but we serve Andraste and whoever proves worthy of wielding us.
You and your blades are loyal to the Inquisition?
We're loyal to you. I suppose that's the same thing, Your Worship.
So there's no ill will over what happened with your former boss?
The man was a bastard. You're not the first to stand up to him. You're just the first to win, and we're happy with that. Besides, I would rather swear my life to the Herald of Andraste.
Do you have anything to report?
Nothing of note, Your Worship.
I should go.
You know where to find us.
Alright, let's...
Did you borrow my...
Let's go ahead and pick this up here. Okay. That was weird. The conversation of Harrison. Beloved Andraste, we sit well at the Maker's side, and we know your sorrow. For my heart was weak until it served your greater glory. As she was my enemy, I heed the word of the betrayer, and so sentenced her to die. Thus she was bound upon the pyre, so that all might bear witness. But as the prophet burned, a silence fell. For though the flame licked mortal flesh, she would not cry. The hearts of the people filled with shame, and all were silent with her. I thought it was defiance, and though I marveled at her strength, my heart was yet unmoved. It was then the prophet raised her eyes, her visage wreathed with sacred flame. It was then I saw her sorrow and her acceptance. I felt the flame eating my own flesh. I felt its slowly death upon me and knew her suffering. Through the flame I walked and drove the sword into her heart. And so the prophet was released. The Maker whispered in my ear, and I knew I had become the instrument of his will. An interpretation of the conversation of Harrison, written in 734 Storm, claimed that it was drawn from a text written by Harrison himself, remained unconfirmed. The Champion of Kirkwall. I've heard the name Hawk on several lips this week. Many of us blame the champion for the events in Kirkwall, which sparked a war and hurled all Thedas into chaos. But can we truly fault Hawk for what she did? Here was a poor refugee from Ferelden who came to the Free Marches fleeing the Blight. Coming from a family of apostates, Hawke must have spent her life hiding from Templars, hearing about the abuse to which mages under the care of the Circle were subjected to. Make no mistake, there were abuses. We will never find a peaceful solution to this conflict until we admit that we were particularly responsible. Image on how it must have been for Hawke when she rose to the prominence for her own role in ending the Knorri threat of 934. From refugee to champion of Kirkwall, Hawke's position gave her power and influence. Nothing could touch her. But although the champion of Kirkwall walked free, there were mages in the gallows who did not. The thought must have rankled. Are the champion's actions during the mage uprising so hard to understand, given all I have said? Follow the destruction of the chantry. Knight Commander Meredith invoked the right of the annulment and called for the execution of every mage in Kirkwall. It was not right. Another injustice added to an already lengthy list. Hawke knew it and stood against her. She put herself between the Templars and the mages they sought to destroy and became a legend. Even though she later disappeared, fleeing from Kirkwall and the Chantry's justice, what happened in Kirkwall that day changed Thedas forever. By defying Meredith and our order, Hawke became a beacon for the Mage Rebellion. That gave the mages hope, rallied them. They fought back, and here we now stand on the eve of the divine conclave, seeking a peace before the rebellion destroys us all. Knight Commander Matu of Montmara, speaking to the Templars attending the divine conclave. Deepstalkers, one of the few natural, non-darkspawn creatures to live in the deep roads. The Deepstalker is a reptilian cave dweller known for burying into the stone paths of the deep roads and ambushing prey, usually nugs. They hunt in packs, attack with round mouths of serrated teeth, or spitting poison from venom glands. Although a single Deepstalker poses little threat to any experienced explorer, packs can be lethal. From the Tale Beneath the Earth by Brother Genetivi. Draglings. Newly hatched dragons are roughly the size of a deer and voraciously hungry. They live for a short time in their mother's lair before venturing out on their own. The slender, wingless creatures are born in vast numbers, as only a few survive to adulthood. Ghouls. Among the saddest legacies of the Fifth Blight are those poor souls who have survived the Darkspawn attack across the Ferelden, only to succumb to the corruption of the Blight itself. We have seen animals, birds, wolves, and even bears corrupted into the mindless rutinations of their former selves, but humans are by no means immune. Those unfortunate victims not killed quickly by contact with the darkspawn blood or disease become mad with fever. Their bodies lose their hair and become misshapen with sores. In their last lucid thoughts, many speak of hearing whispered words or a song that no one else can catch. It is vital that once the victim begins hearing such things, they are put out of their misery quickly and mercifully. There are stories across the Ferelden of these ghouls, maddened by the corruption of the Blight, attacking their friends and sparing the corruption further. While it is lucky that the sickness will eventually kill a ghoul, the dying strength of these poor creatures make them nearly to greater danger as the Darkspawn themselves. They are no longer our friends, our family, or our countrymen. They are victims of the Blight and must be given the same mercy Harrison showed Andraste, a Swiss sword. The Elysian Silver War. When Grand Duke Gaspar attacked Empress Celine of Rolay in an attempt to claim the throne, he assumed business across the country would suffer greatly. To counter propaganda suggesting she was overly tolerant of the elves, Celine was drawn to crush an elven uprising in Hamsharal, and Gaspar's attack there destroyed her forces and cut her off from Val Royeaux. She escaped back to the Orlesian capital with 100 mad stories explaining how, at which point we started closing down the family shops, expecting Gaspar's army to carve a bloody path through the heartlands and up north towards the cities loyal to Celine. Instead, the humans have been downright reasonable. We made a killing on the furs and silver in Val Royeaux as Gaspar's hold on the southern Olay cut off incoming trade goods from Ferelden. The nobles in Montefoot and Belchavain also brought up violets as though their touch killed Darkspawn, apparently. Celine declared that wearing purple flowers was a way for humans to show their loyalty to her. In Ferelden, half of the cities would be on fire, but in Olay, the nobles make jokes, and the merchants just keep peddling their wares while Gaspar and Celine's armies clash in the dales. The only people really suffering are the peasants, but then that's true enough anyway. Send extra guards on the next shipment, but save the Lyrium for Ferelden. The family's doing good business here as it is. From a letter from Darren Hark, dwarven merchant, to his family in Oswick. The city-state of Kirkwall. From the Office of Provisional Viscount Brand of Kirkwall. Please circulate to all functionaries. Swap in the... Ooh, I don't know why it did that. Where are we? Functionaries, and let us be done. Please... Okay, swap in the names of our newest benefactors, and let us be done with their endless attempt at clearing veiled intentions. To the forces and or diplomat representing of, copy their names and meaningless horrifics here. Thank you for your kind offer of tiresome insistence, but I assure you that we are quite undaunted with similar inquiries at the moment. It fails to me as Provisional Viscount to draw your ire, and for that I sincerely apologize. I assure you that I do not wish this to be the case, neither the reversal nor my place in the delivery of it. Perhaps you will join the choir of those questioning whether I propose the authority to deny you. Rest assured, when the arrows are still in the air, it is common for those who desire stability but who lack the will to fight for it to impose the opportunity onto others deemed expendable. And as I was one of the few remaining who knew the relevant protocol representing freed, Kirkwall apparently falls to me, or rather, with the role left open, I was pushed in by unpopular vote. In either case, there is falling, but the predicament is well tested. I expect the previous in no way will deteriorate you from continuing your aggressive inquiries. Kirkwall has always been a valuable port, the nexus of nearly all trade that follows between the Free Marches and Ferelden. It has changed hands many times before, and I expect position leader's name would see it do so again. On this point, I would urge caution, for a number of factors have deviated from the historical norm. While the office of the Viscount has been vacant since the unfortunate end of Dumar's line, we have not been without effective leadership. The role of the champion in stabilizing Kirkwall cannot be minimized, despite the actions that have been more widely circulated. No doubt your leaders heard this is where the ripple of rebellion began. That is true, and so violently so, which makes any stability we have earned preciously guarded. As those ripples travel outward, our champion and the others have committed to the continual calm of the center. As such, we are eager to resume commerce and will entertain any and all promises of trade. I do assure you, offers of protection and extension of the foreign borders or troops are not necessary. But I am nothing if not a realist. If your inquiry was made with a genuine intent, then this appeal should suffice to end the matters graciously. If, however, your offer was merely formality before attempting a disguised occupation, I'll refer you first to the example of cite the two most recent fools who would have listened, who made similar assumptions that we would be a desperate target. I would then direct you to the person who endured that the forces of those names two idiots were similarly expelled in the various states of dismemberment, because deluded new interlopers, despite the fact that my underwhelming name carries the provisional Viscount honorific, Captain of the Guard Aveline Hadren, has spontaneously and effectively assumed matters of defense. While we're temporarily without such guidance, she ensured that the Guard were well prepared, and I have welcomed her return. Her activation of Kirkwall militia has been spirited and fearless, two things I do not care to be known for, so I stay out of her way. For the sake of your health, I advise you that you do the same. In the great respect to you, the newest invading crowned prick, Provisional Viscount Bran. Interesting. Okay. I thought there was stuff in here. Maybe not. Intonation for the blades of Hirsarion. The oath sworn by the new converts to the leader of the Blade of Hirsarion. You were lost as we were all. Grant me purpose. You were unhearing as we all. Let me obey. You are swords as are we all. Wield me in her name. Jesus, Morgan. Scared me. Little stinker. Really? Wrong way. A bitter note. A note presumably penned by the Blade's former leader. I do not care what the Inquisition claims. Their lies to serve their own purpose. Do not listen to their corruption. These hills belong to the Blades of Hirsarion, and I have not been good to you. You follow my will as you would the will of Andraste, so you have sworn. Hello, pretty. Don't hurt the horsey. Don't hurt the horsey. Get out of there now. Thank you. Alright guys, this is where we're going to save it. And when we come back, we'll continue through the Storm Coast. As we get to World, the game's going to get a little bit longer and longer with these open worlds, but we're going to try continuing through the Storm Coast, and then we'll head back to a new remodeled Skyhold and hopefully open specializations that I can pick from. I already have kind of an idea where I want to lean towards, but when we get to that point, we'll get to that point. We still have a lot of game, still have a lot of areas to fill out so that my people and myself are stacked with abilities. And I think when we come back, probably tomorrow, I'm going to increase the difficulty from hard to very hard. Or is it nightmare next? I don't know. Anyway, we're going a level next, and we'll probably do that with all 3 games, because as I played today, I've noticed that they're just a little bit too easy for us now. Also, too, some of you guys had said that some of the battle sounds have been a little loud. I did adjust them today for all 3 videos, and if you hear that one of the games or all the games are still very loud, let me know and I'll try to adjust it again. Alright guys, bye now.